Whoop whoop, what's up, Bearcats? Happy Thursday. We're here, we're hanging, we're chilling. It's a special night tonight. We're doing the HMG TNA After the Glory special watch long. No Impact tonight, so we're going to be doing this because we're going to be talking about it for the Impact Attack. Whoop whoop. Hope you're all having a great week. Thank you for stopping in and hanging and joining us tonight. Yeet yeet. Yeah, what's up, Lab Rat? Good to see you, pal. What are they testing on you tonight? Yeet yeet. Yeah, we are. That's what we're gonna be watching tonight. The After the Glory special, which is basically kind of like TNA's Unreal version for episode of For Bound for Glory. And how's everybody doing? Whoop whoop.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of TNA Impact. This is
Yo, what's up, Dan? Good to see you, pal. Whoop whoop.
Matthew Raywald. We are still processing.
Man, yeah, that sucks. That sucks, dude. Rest in peace, Ace Frehley.
TNA Plus. It was Bound for Glory, and it's going to go down as one of the most special moments in the history of TNA wrestling.
I mean, no doubt about it. We talked about it that night. We can't escape the headline, a record-breaking night in many facets. Of course, the North American attendance record for TNA. Massachusetts, the electricity was, I mean, it was palpable, it was undeniable, and everybody from the crowd, the performers, to the crew, to everyone in that building felt it.
There's so much we want to get to looking back with how the evening began. What a sight it was to see all of those United States Marines lining the entranceway for Bulletproof Steve Macklin, who did 2 tours in Afghanistan as a machine.
Yeah, pal. Whoop whoop.
Of the United States Marines.
After the Glory, yeet yeet.
Coming from recruiting station Boston this year, the Marine Corps celebrating their 250th birthday on November 10th. So many special moments involved there for Steve Macklin.
You went from USA chants to me standing there with Marines, firing up something that I've been wanting to do for so long is bring attention to my brotherhood, my Bullet Club. We never forget one another. We know where we come from and we know what we do. And then I got ringside. When I see my mother, the woman who raised me, sitting front row, who knows how much I've loved this business as a profession, as a child, I was a fan.
All right, so far this is looking more like reaction than Unreal, which is a good thing. Like, I'd rather this be more reaction than Unreal. If you guys remember that show back in late 2010 that they did, which was like a 1 hour post show after Impact, which was basically like cameras catching up with everybody and just like, you know, giving them get their in-character thoughts on what happened just, you know, on that night show. But it was done in like a shoot manner.
That's how I feel. That was awesome.
Love you, brother. Matt, I remember years ago when Steve Macklin won his first TNA World Championship, and that night I said it, once forgotten, now always remembered. And I think that's so true about what happened as well at Bound for Glory this past weekend, because Steve Macklin set a standard for the International Championship as the first champion to bring it back, do it in front of his fellow brethren in the Marine Corps, in front of his mother, his wife backstage. It's just a tremendous sight, and Steve Macklin proved what he's.
I'll say this: did this a nice job stooging off Deanna being at a TNA show, but I'm sure she doesn't care.
Watching at home as well.
The sooner I get out of my AEW contract, the better. Probably what she's thinking.
Ever be won first, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that first ever. So I know the heartbreak he went through losing that title mere weeks ago. To climb to that mountaintop once again was a very big deal for Matt.
From one champion to another. Coming up next, Leon Slater, the youngest X Division champion of all time, joins us here on After.
We get those famous TNA commercial. Oh wait,
How many times can you see this? Oh my!
this was actually the very first TNA pay-per-view I ever watched. Against All Odds 2006. And when Christian Cage got his first world title.
He's finally done it, Bob. He shattered the glass ceiling, and in the process, Christian Cage put his name right next to the elite of his profession, once and for all.
And he showed the world. People doubted him. People wondered why he would come over. And he let everybody know. He wanted to be the NWA world.
And that's when there was the NWA world title that they were using.
They see Jarrett come out of it so many times, but not tonight.
He made the Gary
Yo, what's up? Good to see you, cold-blooded. Whoop, whoop. Hope all's well, pal. Yeet, yeet.
He even told Sting, and Christian Cage delivered.
Yo, what's up, Gross? They do well. What to do with you? Whoop, whoop. Good to see you, pal. Yeet, yeet.
Look out of here. It's all about Christian Cage, the new champion.
Now you can say it. The honor roll of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. It bears the name Christian Cage, and it's a perfect fit.
He's going over to his wife, Denise. You can see the hug.
Oh, what a great
The
moment.
happiness.
What a great moment. The realization that the 12 years of hard work has paid off. It's finally
Yo, what's up, Zane? Good to see you, pal. Whoop, whoop. Hope all's well.
Look at this. Look at the ring. You gotta see it in the crowd. Coming in. Loving him.
Rhino's in there as well.
All right, now we're at the commercial break. Oh, now we're coming out of it. Nice.
In the air for like 5 seconds.
Hey, I appreciate you, Santino. But hey, Eva, Santino, I know Halloween Havoc is right or
Sure, because tonight is triple threat tag match. Then whoever wins that is
Right.
next
That's
in
understood.
line.
Oh, no.
Are you hearing this? The X Division champion's getting real comfortable around here. And if I remember it correctly, I think you can clarify this, young OG. If it wasn't for Dark State, you wouldn't even be holding that title right now.
Are you
All right, bro. You
No,
done
I'm not.
What's this brother chatting, man?
Ava, is it possible that my future
X Division Championship match on my show. I'm down, champ.
I'm down. You get me? Let's
All
do
right,
it.
perfect. It's official.
Hey, hold on. But I'm going to have my eyes on that match, all right? Just to make sure.
I'd love to see Leon and Javon team up, but the young OG is going to have eyes on the youngest in charge. It's Leon Stacks this coming Tuesday, live on NXT. Visiting NXT's former stomping grounds, Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida, between November 13th and 15th for 3 consecutive nights of TNA.
Man, so what are we getting the rest of
And
this week?
we
These
round
next
out
couple of weeks up
2025 in El Paso, Texas,
November.
from December 5th through the 7th. The pre-sale for these events, October 22nd.
Unless they're taping Impact at
gets
the
underway
Performance
on
Center.
Friday, October 24th via TNAWrestling.com.
Well, speaking of Orlando, we all very well know that is also the home. The NXT superstars are all there, and given everything that's going on between TNA and NXT, including things like Showdown, well, if there's one person on the TNA roster who's got some...
Oh yeah, about
It's the youngest in charge, the X Division champion.
what was it? With Andrade and not knowing he had a non-compete.
The X Division championship matchup between Leon Slater and NXT's Javon Evans.
I could see that happening. In fact, I could see them going over the Hardys.
On the chops back and forth, this is reminiscent.
Like that would be a good torch pass moment.
On the main event of Victory Road 2 weeks ago, Reed and Slater was playful in the beginning, and it got serious in a heartbeat. Kicks out at 2. Look out. Whoa, the rebound.
I did not know that. Okay. Yeah, and plus, add Santino to the mix. He can make magic out of it.
Shots back and forth here. Look out.
Oh, wait a minute, a slingshot cutter. James and Frankie Kazarian. Oh, Evans is...
Right on target, too.
Could be a glitch, or he might have you blocked. I'm not sure.
Into the barricade. Slater stopped himself. Slater, sitting in the crowd here.
In the crowd here.
Evans leaping after Slater. Evans and Slater in a thriller here at Bound for Glory. There's Slater.
The 20-minute time limit has expired. Therefore, this match is a draw.
Ooh, that's a better story. Javon and Slater avenging the Hardys and getting the titles back. I like that. You get 2 teams over. I like that.
There's the bell. Evans and Slater. The X-Division title recover. Slater powers out.
This one just picked up to 11.
Oh, Slater caught him. Slater trying to put it away. Oh, kick out by Evans.
These guys are now really putting the heavy metal down.
Utopia. Slater. Evans going up top. Look
Brother Slater, I knew you'd come. Absolutely.
George State is here. We're Bound for Glory. Oh my God. Wait a minute now. George State from NXT taking out one of their own. It's Javon Evans. George State lost the NXT Tag Team title.
He's a regular, but he doesn't. Not during at least not during the night shows. He'll pop in every once in a while, though.
Been sensational as of late. His appearances on NXT have been absolutely spectacular, but he first debuted in this company back at Turning Point 2023. Turning Point 2025 is right around the corner. But tonight is all about After the Glory. What Leon Slater and Javon Evans of NXT did this past weekend in a battle for the ages for the X Division Championship was absolutely incredible. It was a travesty. the way that it ended, thanks to NXT's dark state, but seriously, we saw, and you said it yourself, the future of the industry between Slater and Evans.
Not only the future, the now.
Got to be his tag team partner. You want Evans, and you eliminate him.
Same here, pal.
So, who are those?
Like myself was doing it also in the ring, you know what I mean? So I'm glad that we got to have that tag match the week prior, so I could study up on his movements, how he operates, how he moves. So the week later at Showdown, I had him scouted for the OG cutter, and I managed to get him out of there.
Now, I got to ask, that may have been your first...
Yo, what's up, Zach? Good to see you, pal.
I mean,
Happy National Sports Day to you, too, as well. Whoop, whoop.
Getting into all this business with NXT.
Very, very, very aware. I mean, like, always online, I was getting comments, Leon and Javon, we need to see this match. It's a dream match. So ever since the partnership began, I was well aware of what Javon was capable of and who he was. So I'm glad we finally got to make it happen at Bound for Glory.
The amazing thing about Bound for Glory is that there were two instances where you saw the crowd stand up.
Yeah.
I stood up too.
Well, hold on. Before we expected Hardy's Team 3D, one final table, their last match ever. The other was yourself and Javon Evans. Can you put us in your shoes? Nearly 8,000 people.
It was wild, man, just being in the middle of all of that, you know, because obviously for so long I've been a fan of TNA and I've seen matches like this.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, pal.
And they can't wait for it to get started, but to be in the middle of that, and like you said, look how
And where it's just like, nope, it clicks. I have to imagine that's what it was like with Javon Evans.
Absolutely. And I think you can tell that from the early exchanges in the match, you know what I mean? I've never really been in the ring with someone where it's been so 50-50, like 9 times out of 10, I'm maybe the taller guy, or maybe I'm the smaller guy, or maybe I'm the little bit more built. Like, it's always so one for one. Those early exchanges really put it in my head that we're about to be in for a long night and it'd be difficult to put him away, you know what I mean? But I think magic is the best way to describe what happened on Sunday for sure.
We talked about on the air at Bound for Glory. Javon Evans, his story in WWE, for those that don't know, he has put on incredible performances. Always just one step away from winning his first major championship in professional wrestling, whereas you won your quote-unquote big one at Slammiversary, capturing this championship, dethroning Moose, becoming the youngest X Division champion of all time. In the midst of that matchup with Javon, did worry ever creep in that this might be the instance where Javon wins the big one at my expense?
Always, yeah, there's always a worry. The challenges coming month by month. I'm trying harder to hold on to this belt. I think we saw that with Myron Reed, and it was times by 10 with Javon. You know what I mean? I knew how hungry he was coming into that match, and I can't lie, you did get pretty close a couple of times, but you know, due to Dark State, we didn't find out who was the better man.
Yeah, obviously a huge tragedy, really. Yeah, I mean, it's like
a travesty, some might say.
It's like watching truly finish it. I mean, I don't know if you had some time to really reflect on all that ridiculousness, but what is going through your head regarding them, regarding everything that happened at the end of that match?
A lot. a lot to keep it short and sweet. I mean, you guys know as well as anyone, my goal in TNA and in wrestling is to live forever. And I think me and Javon were on the verge of creating one. So whether it's me and
Well, I think the thing about that was,
from each other, whether it's standing side
I
by
think
side,
WWE
the parent of Leon
was also unaware about that.
from being
Like, I think it's somebody who clued them in that they had that in there. It's like, oh, yeah, wait, yep.
We're wrapping up this year with
Now we're going to enforce it.
incredible year. So what's up next for you for the rest of 2025? And importantly,
Sorry, I had something go down the wrong pipe there. I apologize.
No clue. I mean, if you asked me 2 years ago or even a year ago, like how I would have seen 2025,
Let's take a look.
I would have believed you that it would have been crazy, but never this roller coaster that I've been on this year. You know what I mean? And like I said earlier, my goal is to live forever, to make these matches, these moments, these memories that people are going to take with them for the rest of their lives. So in the rest of 2025 and into 2026, I'm going to be doing more of the same. That's for sure.
Beautiful. Leon, thank you so much for
I
joining us.
appreciate you having me, fellas. Hey, they're calling me. I gotta go.
Are you kidding me?
That's how he gets back and forth from England so quickly.
Does it? That'll do it.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Well, coming up next here in TNA Studios in Nashville, Tennessee, we have TNA Hall of Fame royalty. Hardcore Country Hall of Famer Mickie James joins us next for After the Glory.
Nice to get some Mickie James action. Whoop, whoop. They did 612,000 for last night.
He's just sinking in a little bit deeper with his right hand. Get his legs crossed over his body. Kurt stuck. Look at Kurt using the referee. The referee trying to pull, but it's bringing Kurt closer to the rope.
That's exactly what's happening. The referee's trying to break the grip of Angle, but all it did was it moved Angle closer to the rope to get the fight.
The referee let it go.
Oh, this was a tremendous match right here, too. Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, Lockdown 2008.
The Olympic gold medalist? You're talking about Olympic gold medalist using a move like that.
Oh, Joe was mad, and he lost his focus.
He went for the slam again. But has blinded headfirst into the steel.
Oh, what a kick! What a kick! Going back after it.
Oh, could it be Muscle Buster time again? Here we go. He's got him on.
He's got him. He's got him. Can he hit it? Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it sucks that he's gone, man. Fuck cancer.
Really did not give Samoa Joe a chance to make you down terribly early. I didn't think Samoa Joe really had any shot at beating Kurt Angle. More than he proved me wrong. He deserves this belt. He almost was submitted 4 or 5 at a time. He was outclassed at takedown. He stayed with his tactics. He stayed with his game plan, and he pulled it together.
And the belt presentation made by Joe's trainer, UFC fighter Marcus Davis. What a proud moment for the
Oh yeah, that old TNA stuff was really good back in the day. Like even those old pay-per-views, like weekly pay-per-views, were really good.
We're back here on TNA Impact. This is After the Glory. He's Ray Wall, I'm Hannafin. We're looking back at Bound for Glory pay-per-view event, our biggest event of the year, our biggest North American event of all time this past weekend. But Bound for Glory would not be complete without the annual TNA Hall of Fame induction ceremony. It took place
full circle moment for us.
To be fair, though, with Jarrett, it was kind of a situation of, well, I'm not going anywhere. And I can only trust myself to stick around and bust my ass. This is my baby, and
Years ago, if I could have seen into the future and known what was to come for all of us, I personally would. Call came from TNA to help start their new women's division. And when all of us got together that night in Atlanta, we made history. So I want to thank every knockout who was in that Gauntlet for Gold match at Bound for Glory 2007. Tracy Brooks, Miss Jackie Moore, Shelly Martinez, Awesome Kong, Odie Wee, Christy Hemme, Gail Kim, Velvet Sky, and Roxy Laveau. And to the current Knockouts division, you guys are killing it. We're so proud of you, and you're representing female wrestling in the most amazing way.
Tonight isn't about wins or losses, titles or rivalries. It's about legacy. To be standing here at Bound for Glory, where it all started for me, and be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame is one of the greatest honors of my career and life. A platform and a family. To now be forever part of its history means more to me.
Oh, dude, she was awesome.
Ever expressed. To my partner in all of this, Angelina. We've done and accomplished together. When I think back on the matches, the makeovers, the brown paper bag treatment, the laughter, and the bond that we built, I'm reminded of why I fell in love with this business in the first place. We didn't just entertain, we inspired. We showed that women in wrestling confident, unapologetic, and absolutely unstoppable.
Dude, it really was, man. It was looking back now, it was in a wild time.
A home, a career forever.
To present Mickie James into the TNA Hall of Fame, please welcome her longtime friend and rival, Lisa Marie.
I love her to death. I'm so thankful that I've known her for over 20 years. Guys, TNA, you are crowning the best person. Give your love for the freaking hardcore country queen, Mickie James, baby!
I saw a familiar face, my sister, Lisa Marie here. And I realized, I look at this locker room and the opportunities that the women were to shine, not just
Yeah,
in one
dude, for
segment,
real,
not just
for real. Like the OG Knockouts
main
division,
event,
that was the
segments,
that's the foundation of
they
modern American
understood
women's
the
wrestling,
power
right
of
there.
a woman. And then Hardcore Country was born. So not only did I get to launch myself, I got to reinvent myself. And when I stepped into the role of authentically being me for the first time ever in 2010 and embraced Hardcore Country, each and every single one of you were right there along for the ride with me. And I'm so, so grateful. I just want to say thank you really quick, who inspired my love for wrestling, to my mom, who told me what it was to follow your dreams and follow your hearts and never listen to the naysayers. Because they'll tell you you can't have something all day long just because they're too scared to go after it themselves. I believe that with my whole heart. My son's sitting here right in the front row. Every day, everything I've done, all I've ever wanted to do was do something to make you proud. And I wish my husband was here to celebrate, but obviously he had a big trip. And so I love you, baby, and I appreciate you being my rock and standing beside me always, always, in the good and the bad and the ugly. And you've seen them all.
Huge pop, Zane.
Maybe a little too crassy, maybe a little too badassy. I may not be your cup of tea. I may not even be your top 3. But one thing I'll always be is Hardcore Country. I'm a rockin' southern girl running wild and free.
I mean, what an honor it was to be able to take their rightful place in history, the TNA Hall of Fame, and the first ever all women's class, especially for a company where women's wrestling was cool before it was cool, where it was a revolutionary before there was a revolution. I mean, the Knockouts division has always defined that. So, I mean, especially the beautiful Tommy Dreamer's had, so it made me happy. But in addition, I love just hearing that they were more than colleagues. You know, they were more than just wrestlers. They were friends. They formed a real life bond. So to see them come into this together, express that together, their families.
That I think was kind of a coincidence.
That's the kind of thing, as a performer myself, that I really appreciate, that this isn't just all business.
But, you know, yeah, it still kind of sucked.
Build and forge these connections. And it's the beautiful thing about pro wrestling. It's the beautiful thing about TNA.
Well, you mentioned the beautiful people, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky. Impression on not just women's wrestling going into the future, but professional wrestling as a whole. It was star-studded on the TNA Hall of Fame induction ceremony as part of the countdown to Bound for Glory. You got to see our special presenter, the original Knockout, the TNA Hall of Famer Tracy Brooks. You also got to see Lisa Marie Barone, who is extremely excited, very animated as she inducted our guest coming up next year on TNA in Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. He is the 5-time Knockout
Dude,
World Champion.
they should bring back
She is
TNA.
the brand new TNA Hall of Famer. Mickie James is next on After the Glory.
Whether it be by pinfall or submission, either these 4 wrestlers will walk away with the TNA World Heavyweight title. And you know what? This is what we've all been waiting for, Don.
Now they're doing Booker T's debut.
Remember what Sting said. Kurt Angle, yes, you have worked with this individual in the past. Yes, you have rubbed him the wrong way. We're about to find out who that mystery partner is. 40 world championships between these 4 competitors. It's time to answer the mystery and reveal who the partner is that Sting has handpicked.
The anticipation level is off the charts. Everybody's standing to attention, all waiting to find out who could it be?
Everyone standing here at Genesis. Who Sting's mystery.
Dude, they drew this out for a long ass time.
What an incredible this is what we have been waiting for weeks, Don, to find out who it is that Sting is bringing here to TNA.
Can't wait any longer, and you can just feel the electricity. You can feel it. Yeah! Yeah! You heard him.
All right, while they're doing that, I'm going to step outside for a little smoky toky. Be right back. Whoop, whoop. And we're back. Whoop, whoop. Sorry about that.
What's going on here? And I was hoodwinked and bamboozled. So I think that my reaction was my genuine, like, don't get too emotional, but also like in complete shock. Yeah, I'm incredibly
King Booker.
I don't even think, you pray for moments like these. You always pray for as you're like setting your goals and to not only acknowledge me, but the beautiful people and for
Oh yeah, that's right. That fight with Batista.
First time ever. It's like amazing. It's just incredible.
So after getting that announcement though, and then in the weeks leading up, I mean, where did your head go in terms of like what you wanted to say, who you wanted to thank, just the moments in your career you wanted to highlight? How was that process?
It was heavy, and I'm like asking Nick and the whole thing of like what to say. Where do you even begin? In something like that, to thank a company who's given me so many opportunities and has taken me back and back again, and also really allowed me to shine and just be myself. And, every time I've come back here, it's like just given me so much more confidence, and they've just always been here like a rock, I genuinely feel like it's a family. They're my family. And we've grown up together.
You've literally been here since day one. You're now one of a select handful of TNA Hall of Famers that appeared on the very first TNA broadcast. What does TNA represent to you in your variety of stops here? How has it helped?
Yeah, and that is very true. Mickie James actually did appear on the very first TNA pay-per-view. That very first show, she was part of that Battle Royal, I believe.
And then that lingerie battle royal and all that. I was
the lingerie battle royal.
Have an opportunity and to be seen on a national thing. And also TNA was brand new and it was just starting everybody for something fresh and something new. And that was going to give so many of us an opportunity to be seen. And so to be a part of that then, and then to be asked to come back. And then with Raven, I think, you know, he was such a catalyst in me being in that role as the Gathering, because he was looking for a female. I wasn't a goth girl, you know, more hardcore. I wasn't goth at all. I had to research and do all this stuff to just even think, like, how am I going to, you know, do this? But then I got to work alongside Punk and Julio, who was my friend and brother from Maryland for so long, but also with Jeff and the stuff with Jeff and the woman to be in a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. I think that they've always just pushed me to my limits.
I think, yeah, she's talking about all that. Like going back to those like early pay-per-views years that she was involved, which is cool because nobody ever mentions that time. Hardly ever mentions that time.
All these years later, it went crazy, magical, and I have to thank Tommy. You know, Tommy like really helped me, and he's always believed in me, and he's always been back. And there's so many people when you're doing something like that. Like I didn't get to have even a quarter of the thank yous, but we would have been there all night. You know. And I had Ingrid right there going like,
"Can make you."
No, I'm joking. Am I though? I'm not. I'm not. Because I had a long list of thank yous. I think we'd still be there.
No, I don't doubt it. But
yeah.
You get to the building, you know,
yes.
And you see everybody again. You talk about it being a family. You're kind of welcome back and all that stuff. Of course, seeing the beautiful people and everyone there. Lisa Marie is there. Everybody, Tracy Brooks.
Yeah, she during that time. Yeah.
Everybody there on that special.
Because we flew in, Donovan and I flew in
right
that day, so we literally got to the building at like 3.
I remember being excited when it
was crazy. And so you
when she first debuted on WWE TV.
But then everyone's there. Why I asked Lisa to be the one who introduced me was because first
get me the Dup Cup, pal.
Every Hall of Fame to me, but also she's probably my dear.
How about this? A midget, a beaten off in a trash can.
Herself, but when I came back in 2010, our whole feud and with what set the tone for hardcore country. It's like she was a part of making hardcore country so great to begin with.
If you guys ever get a chance, go check out the Dusty Rhodes promo of him going off about a midget, a beaten off in a trash can.
Yeah. I love her so much. And then Lish and obviously Tasha and all the familiar faces, but then all these new faces, because there's a lot more new knockouts out back there now, right? It's grown, and then it's an exciting day. Obviously, Bound for Glory is the best, and you know, obviously, to be honored is crazy, and you're just in your head. And
no, that was the thing that actually happened on a TNA pay-per-view, and Dusty Rhodes like cut a promo on it, and he just kept repeating that line multiple times in that promo. But it was actually a really good promo, I thought.
So far away, and you said it was in your contract that you had to be legally like at least an arm's length or guitar's length.
My bad.
I forget. I've moved on. I'm being the bigger person. Let's move on with the interview. Thank you.
Let's talk about
it was different time.
About some of the knockouts that took the stage at Bound for Glory on the countdown to Bound for Glory.
Yeah, because back then they had to book for budget and not for long term.
Against the Elegance brand. You saw our own broadcast colleague Gia Miller dive in.
Also, Gia Miller.
Yes.
Not only did she kill it that night, but my hat, as she's done, that I wore that night, was made by one Gia Miller.
Oh, nice.
She's an angel, but she's made a lot.
Dude, I wish I could have got to see them back during that time. That'd have been awesome.
I know that she's always been show what she could do out there. So
like those early X Division matches.
To do that, but also to kick Tessa Blanchard's ass is always,
bro.
You know, it was like a bonus icing on the cake, and so it was cool to see.
And of course, we saw the Knockouts World Championship, which you won that title 5 times.
Yeah.
Indeed, pal.
NXT.
Lost it.
That's true. The last rodeo, you did have to relinquish the title due to injury.
Right.
Saw Kalani Jordan, NXT, the current champion, defend against Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
What's your feeling on the present state of the Knockouts and where women's wrestling is going?
Yeah. What a time. What a time. I mean, even to see this crossover with NXT and TNA, what a time. And for these women, and like there's so many great women out there wanting to be wrestlers and really showing what we're capable of when given opportunities like that. and to see both brands kind of merging together and being represented on both brands, so cool. But that match was awesome. They went to war with each other. I think it really showcased the women in the knockouts, you know, and sit down chat with one Kalani after. Just, yeah, just a little, you know, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Or not.
Yeah, it just sucks. Only lasted like what,
No,
2 weeks?
It's great.
Ish.
It's great to see. And then like I was saying, you know, I walk back there and there's all these the fresh faces in the locker room, and it's just shown how much the division.
Hey, get me next generation, pal.
TNA really like showcases their watching this hardcore crazy part of the match, and so many thumbtacks. They hurt, didn't they?
Yes.
I know that. I know they did. I know.
Mickey, thank you so much
Oh
for
God.
joining us. Congratulations on
Yeah.
joining the TNA
Thank
Hall
you.
of Fame yourself.
Incredibly
Beautiful people. So many knockouts have laid the foundation for what.
I mean,
this
Eric could at least cut a promo, but
the knockouts division.
dude,
So
still
we're
terrible in the
forever
ring.
in your debt.
Also, we actually are getting a hard commercial break on this one. Well, shit. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. He's basically the epitome of, well, let's try again. Well, let's try again. Well, let's try again.
Stacking it up right there. Oh my gosh, it's like a pyramid. He's got another one. Another table. That's Hardy still out cold. You see, the referee knows he's got to be in there to make sure the rules are followed. Take care of it, and you can see Raven's got it set up and ready to roll.
2 double stacks for Raven. Hardy. Desperation attempt here at this point. Hardy's got to do anything and everything within his power
Raven's
to try and
pulling
avoid
him up
this.
by the hair.
Right, just yanking it by the long blonde locks.
Oh, Hardy fighting back there. Wait a minute. You can see Raven might be in a bad spot right there. It's Hardy trying to get some momentum, and Raven landed on it. I think
This is actually kind of cool to like show fans who weren't aware of this. Yeah, Jeff Hardy's been in and out of TNA since 05. It's 04.
Spectacular leg drop by Hardy off the top of the 6 sides of steel, and yet he drove Raven through that double stack of tables to gain the victory.
Raven's creation came back. Hardy may have put a little pasta there, but he saw an opportunity and he took it. And now look at him as he just absolutely loves the fact.
Jeff Hardy, reborn.
Sort of, kind of. I thought it was gonna be more of like an Unreal presentation of Bound for Glory, but turns out it's kind of like a recap, like post-show reaction show with clips involved and recaps. Yeah, that was cool for him to finally get that. They've been building that story for years at that point. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, my pal. Yeah, wasn't he AJ Styles' mystery opponent for who he's defending the X Division title against? I forgot what show. I think it was like the 2nd anniversary show.
TNA TNA Impact continues. This is After the Glory. Huge thanks to the brand new TNA Hall of Famer Mickie James joining us in studio. Still to come this evening, we'll be joined in studio here by the NXT and TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, to talk about one final tape. What?
Guys.
Hey, what?
So Mickie said she never lost. Is that right?
Never lost the knockout.
You respect that, right?
Yes.
Journalists?
Yeah.
It's something to respect. Well, I don't know if you know, but I was Knockouts World Tag Team Champion with my wife, ODB. We never lost those belts. I was never pinned by a woman. Not then. Not ever.
We're really going back to the angle where ODB and Eric Young were Knockouts Tag Team Champions, got stripped of him, and now he wants them back. We're really going there.
We haven't talked all that much about the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, which
I was robbed. Both of those guys are cheaters.
I think it was called the Asylum.
It was enjoyable. BD. What did that punk even do it in there? It's a mockery of what we do. It's a mockery of what I've dedicated my life to. Why isn't the team? Why are they talking about how I eliminated him and eliminated the Hometown Man?
Yep, and now Hometown Man has the remix version of that.
one quick question. Yeah. Wow, you mentioned the Hometown Man. You admitted that you're Super Eric not long ago. Did that bother you to not admit that to the world for years?
Bothered me. Do I look bothered, Tom? Do I look strange to you? Do I look like something like that would bother me? Are you afraid of the truth?
Yeah, that would not be. Yeah, stay away from that word if you're going to do that.
Okay. We've seen the signs in the audience when you've been competing with TNA. The cleanse is coming.
Yeah.
You cleanse TNA of Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
What's next?
What do you think's next, Tom? Here's a guess. This is what I would say if I was you. Whatever I want. Whatever we deem fit to be wiped from the slate. Whatever we deem fit to be cleansed, to be rectified, to be...
That was a fun angle.
That's what's going to be next, Tom. BDE, that was a good little cleansing. Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah. His voice is gone. That thing's gone.
Talk about the truth. The truth is, and I don't know why, I'm a reasonable man. I'm just like everybody else. I've got wants and desires. I've got anxiety. I've got hopes. I've got dreams of what this can be. You guys aren't ready for the truth. This is too much for you to handle because you're part of the problem. You're part of the system. You're part of what makes this world sick. Maybe when you open your eyes and you start to realize that I'm telling you the truth and everyone else is lying to you, we can have this discussion again. Until then, think about what I said. Think about it.
Why'd you have to ask that stupid question?
Yeah, it does not. Yeah, the optics are very negative.
As I mentioned, still to come tonight on After the Glory, we're going to be joined in studio here by the legendary...
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, when they're on Discovery America?
The Hardys, the legendary Hardys. Why don't we talk about how Moose and Energy are the OGs? Who's more OG than me? Who? No one. I am the heartbeat. I am the soul. I am everything. And we will cleanse this world of...
I will say this is the most fresh we've seen EY in a long time.
He kicked out! How? How did he kick out of that move? Instinct alone! In the match. It allows for Pentagon Brown Jr. Fear factor spiked, and Santana kicked out at 2. Arm. Look at the left arm of Phoenix. Brown Jr. puts on the brakes. Nothing wrong with Phoenix's feet, though, as he and Penta hit the double super.
Oh, nice.
Phoenix starting to climb yet again. Pentagon Jr. setting up the chairs on the other side of the ring. The chairs that haven't been mangled yet.
So Lucha Brothers versus LAX from Rebellion 2019. Whoop, whoop.
Ooh, we're landing. Santana. He's got Penta up. Oh, Lord. Just destroyed that.
This is actually a smart match for them to use for like a show like this. It features your current world champion and his partner going toe-to-toe with Penta and Phoenix. 2 current main roster WWE stars. This, for optics-wise, this is a good match to pick. Yeah, that was going back. I know, for real. Especially looking back now. Yeah, he was. Why are you zooming in on their faces while they're calling spots? Actually, then again, never mind. You can call out his brothers checking on each other. My bad. Oh, damn. How do you fuck something like that up?
Look at some of the unforgettable versus Team 3D. One final table.
Devon's family here in attendance. It has been 2 years since Team 3D have united for a matchup, and it took place right here in TNA Wrestling on our 1000th episode of Impact. Both these teams have been on the record. This match has always been TNA.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna look that up.
Considered arguably the most popular and the most influential tag team of all time. One of the hardest thinking. I mean, it is a tables match, but oh, the Hardys can't be involved without bringing out some extra hardware. From trampolines in Cameron, North Carolina, to death-defying WrestleMania moments littered with ladders, to revolutionizing the industry over and over again here in TNA. Matt and Jeff Hardy's legacy will live forever. This is a tables match for the NXT. Oh, wait, tag team titles! 3D right out of the gates! Well, Team 3D knows that one all too well.
Yeah, that was a rough period. That was right. That was basically they were trying to pick up the pieces after cleaning up the mistake of signing Hogan and Bischoff.
But that's not going to count in the favor of Team 3D. 25 years ago,
Anaheim, California. I'm getting a hell of a lot of deja vu here. A moment that inspired a generation.
And apparently, Alvarez is reporting it too. Yeah, never watched any of that on there. For real, how does that fall through the cracks? How does something like that fall through the cracks? Oh yeah, that was a good one. The Nasty Boys and Team 3D. Whoop whoop. Yeah, that too. Andrade fumbled, his lawyer fumbled, AEW fumbled, and AEW legal fumbled. Where AEW, where their legal should have been like, hey, let's go through his, let's make sure everything we're good before we sign him. Get me Park, and Park, pal. Yeah, they should have made sure cover everything on their end. They did not. I mean, yeah, he's got an actual lawyer on the roster. Score brownie points with your boss 101. But wait, is that his? But is he know? But is he? Was it contract law that he's specialty in? I mean, he's already made a joke of himself on social media anyway. Go all the way with it. Make him Beast Mordos attorney at law. This really was a beautiful moment. Exactly. But he plays it completely straight and serious, but wearing the mask the entire time. I was just thinking that too, Lab Rat. Yeah, give me Harvey Birdman, pal. You have so much you could take from that. Oh, that was a great show, too. Loved that one.
This is After the Glory. This is a special edition of TNA Impact as we continue to sift through the fallout of Bound for Glory this past weekend, which was live worldwide from the Songa Center in Lowell, Massachusetts.
He's got to find a way to get in Monet's ear and get her to think it's a good idea. And it would not be hard for her to convince Tony to do it.
NXT and TNA World Tag Team. Years of history between these two teams. What are some of your favorite moments between these iconic teams?
I mean, it goes without saying that going all the way back to the very beginning, 25 years ago in New York City, Madison Square Garden, that first ever tag team tables match, I mean, is just something that was absolutely formative for me as a wrestling fan. How could you forget it?
For me, the triangle ladder match made me a fan of professional wrestling, so getting to call this match was a tremendous honor. But this is TNA. Let's talk about some TNA stuff with the Hardys and Team 3D. Team 3D were the first TNA World Tag Team Champions. They were awarded the titles, but we'll ignore that. 2014, the Manhattan Center. That was the last.
I mean, yeah, to an extent, it kind of is tonight.
2-on-2 in 11 years. It's absolutely incredible. And also for me, seeing the evolution of the Hardys as individuals, as a team, the broken Hardys, their universe playing out here in TNA wrestling. So many instances where both these teams have revolutionized professional wrestling.
I mean, in many ways, you could say that the Hardys and Team 3D were formed, got their start one place, but I think they found their final forms right here in TNA wrestling. Team 3D really grew into that moniker of being the most decorated tag team of all time while they were here in TNA. I mean, they really, really built their legacies here. And of course, everything you just said about the Hardys applies as well.
Let's talk about what transpired within one final table. These entrances alone were absolutely incredible. You got to see Brother Runt gift the symbolic glasses to Team 3D, Bully Ray and Devon on their entrances, bringing out the lumber, and then the Hardys making their entrance. We've seen it now for what? Seen it for many years in TNA wrestling. When their music hits, the place goes nuts. But they had to go back and get some hardware of their own. They introduced some ladders. We got some chairs once the match was underway, and we talked about it on the air, Ray Wall. Bully Ray and Devon came out strong. They were dropping bombs right out of the gate.
Oh, I mean, they took over the match. They knew that this was everything on the line for them, and they immediately eliminated.
Why are you watching more clips? We just, all right, let's get to the next thing.
Smart strategy, and then you saw the Hardys retaliate. You talked about it. It brought you back to Anaheim once upon a time. Jeff Hardy scaling a ladder and putting Devon through not one but two tables. So that effectively eliminated Devon from the matchup. That 2-on-1 situation we saw Team 3D.
Good camera edit to make it look like he crushed Devon when he never touched him and ended up, his legs got him, but then making sure you didn't get the shot of to the back of Jeff's head hitting the bottom rung.
Realized what was about to happen, realizing his fate at the hands of the Hardys.
There are those moments, it's nothing more that can be done. He knew the spot he was in. He was staring like death in the face almost, in a manner of speaking. And the way he accepted what was going to happen, maybe a twinkle of a tear in his eye, and what we all knew what was coming. And then ultimately, that final table broke.
What transpired after the match was as personal as it could get. Extremely emotional between all four, understanding that this was the last time we would see Team 3D in a professional wrestling ring. We're going to touch on that more later here as part of After the Glory, but coming up next, we're going to be joined in studios by the victors of one final table, the NXT and TNA World Tag Team Champions, the legendary. Join us here in TNA Studios next on Impact After the Glory.
I do, yeah. If you're gonna get somebody caught up with what's going on, let's never watch TNA. You want to get them caught up, yeah. This is what you'd show them.
Taking full advantage. What a counter! What a counter by Dreamer! Desperation out of nowhere. Can he capitalize?
Will Tommy go for the cover or will he look for punishment?
Tommy Dreamer and Eddie Edwards. From what, the same anniversary 2018 looks like?
Who would have thought that it would be Eddie Edwards bleeding in this match and not Tommy Dreamer?
Remember, it was Eddie Edwards who went to Philadelphia. He went to the arena. He attacked Tommy Dreamer, and it's all led to this. House of Hardcore rules, anything goes, live at Slammiversary.
Yeah, got brought into Dreamer's own match, and look at Eddie.
Oh! Good night.
He asked for it, he got it.
Why isn't he going for the cover?
Because Dreamer is insane. Position on the top rope.
A bloodied Eddie Edwards is screaming at everyone here in attendance.
Dreamer almost falling over backwards. That knee might be gone.
You would think.
That's it. That's all. He's out. I cannot believe that Eddie Edwards kicked out of that move.
Yeah, it does. Like the way it was hyped up, I thought it was going to be like a Unreal version of Bound for Glory. So we got a buffering issue. Go take care of that real quick. Sorry, one sec, guys.
What you did is give the world a sneak peek of the future of pro wrestling. Match at Halloween Havoc, and we're going to avenge you too. I promise you, we're going to lay in some receipts for the youngest and the youngest.
Hey, come on, I appreciate that, OG. Hey, and anytime you guys need us, we got your back.
That's facts. Come on, that's facts. That's facts.
Yes, sir. Come on now.
What an endorsement for Slayer and Evans, but now the Hardys look to settle their own business with Dark State. The NXT Tag Team titles will be on the line on Saturday, October 25th in the greater Phoenix area in Prescott Valley, Arizona, live on Peacock at Halloween Havoc. Now, the Hardys visited with the youngest this past Tuesday on NXT, but they didn't leave unscathed.
Get out of my way. What it is? Something Dark State get away with it. Oh, man, y'all picked the wrong damn one. Finna up the score, y'all boys, huh? Ain't nobody say till we get back what's ours. Come on, cut.
The reigning NXT and TNA World Tag Team Champions. Gentlemen, thank you so much, and thank you for what you
It's
guys
going to be
did
at Halloween Havoc next week. Whoop, whoop.
Bound for Glory. Thank you for everything you have done for TNA wrestling for years, and especially this resurgence that we're all enjoying. Walking into the evening, Matt, what were your emotions like knowing that this was going to be?
The emotions were certainly high, and there were a lot of them. And you just said thank us for everything we did.
Oh, nice, Lab Rat. Whoop, whoop.
Last Sunday. It's weird. Sometimes I feel very bad about what we did in some ways because we ended up retiring the Dudleys when it's all said and done. And it's just a very strong reminder. Everything ends at some point. I think it is our job now to continue to move forward and remember.
Yeah, we need the Yeti, pal.
Set of boots and make sure their legacy lives on through us in many, many ways. Going into that,
I think that dude's still around.
It was going to be very emotional. I knew those guys were going to try and come right out of the gate as strong as they can to try and hit a knockout punch right from the jump. I felt very confident about our odds because we are in the midst.
That's
of
right, Reese.
We're both well. We're both very physically fit. We're both in great shape. And I knew they hadn't been in the ring a lot. So we knew it was going to be emotional, but we had no idea it was going to be emotional as it ultimately ended up being in the end.
I mean, we're talking about this journey. I want to throw it back a little bit. And Jeff, I'll turn to you. We talked about what it felt like. Do you have any memories of some of the first nights standing across the ring from Devon and Bully way back when?
Oh, many, man. Madison Square Garden was the first, man. Just standing across the ring from these two guys, actually running into each other, colliding at the highest pace was incredible at Madison Square Garden. But I want to go back to Slammiversary real quick. I had no idea. We had no idea that, it was announced, and Bully came out to the ring and challenged us pretty much. And I was like, whoa, is this really going to happen? And sure enough, it really happened. Bound for Glory 2025. I'm so grateful for them, having the match with us, because to go out there and see that crowd comparing this Bound for Glory to last year's Bound for Glory, it lifted my spirits so high, man. And talk about an adrenaline.
Yeah, and have him hump Hulk Hogan, pal.
Jeff, along the path to Bound for Glory, we had a great series called Road to Glory that was featured on Impact and our social and digital platforms. All four of you were interviewed in the lead up to this matchup. You talked about the first time you got to see Team 3D in action in about 2 o'clock in the morning on ECW. So can you put us in your shoes, and what was it like when you and Matt were huddled around the TV seeing these guys do this thing?
Yeah, it was me and Matt. At 2 a.m. ECW came on, and we had to be super quiet so we didn't wake our dad up. And we were watching the Dudleys in the original ECW, and we were so inspired by that. And it just made us want to become pro wrestlers even more, because it was so different, such a different world. We were close to going there, but to eventually, be in the ring with the Dudleys, I mean, that was the ultimate. Going from that childhood dream in the living room, trying not to wake our dad up, to actually fighting these guys on pay-per-view, it's just incredible.
I got to ask, Matt, you guys have had so many incredible moments throughout your careers. Tables, ladders, chairs, moments now that are indelible in wrestling history. And I can imagine, especially in the early days, sometimes it's hard to live those in. But I feel like going into this one at Bound for Glory, did you guys take a little bit more time during moments of this match to really just feel that gravity live in the moment?
We did. I think even from the very beginning, when we came out through the entrance, that crowd was so passionate and enthusiastic. And we came out and we did our entrance, and then we said, oh, they brought tables out. Well, we have some toys as well.
Sure.
We go back out, we come out with a ladder, we come out with a chair. That was a very fitting tribute to our TLC contest that we had, obviously, in the past together. But just the energy and the way that crowd reacted to this, and they knew they were special. It was powerful.
Shout out to Edge and Christian without saying Edge and Christian.
And we came out, and I think we both did. We took moments to be present in those moments and remember this. And we didn't rush anything in that match. We really tried to latch on to as many of the moments and the memories as we possibly could. And it is something that the entire thing, from beginning to end, from Alpha to Omega in that match, it will be burned in my head for the rest of my life.
And just so the TNA fans know, I looked all day for a 14-footer double-sided ladder, and I could not find one. So we had to go with the one we did.
Which I think was plenty high. Don't worry. I don't think anybody will get freaking impressed.
You did just fine. It was after the matchup. I don't know if anybody could have expected how emotional that was going to be, how it was going to feel. I can only imagine what it was like between the four of you. Can the two of you articulate, and Matt, I'll start with you. Team 3D handing you their boots.
We had no idea that was going to happen. We didn't know they were planning on retiring. I mean, we figured this might be D1's last match, but they retired as a team. They're done. We had no idea that was happening, and we especially had no idea that they were going to hand us their boots, which was the ultimate sign of respect, I would say. Hey, you guys, you beat us. We've had this rivalry for a quarter of a century, and these guys to give us those boots. They're trophies. They're giving us trophies. You were the better team. You were the greatest. You're the greatest of all time. Here you go. Here's our boots. You take them. And it really was emotional. What you saw, there was nothing fabricated out there. It was very real. There were times where we were both tearing up. We both felt like crying because we knew it really was the end of an era. And not only is it the end of the Hardys Dudleys era, the Hardy Team 3D era, it's the end of a lot of people's fandom, because they'll never see it again. That was the last time. And I'm really proud of everyone that was in that match, because we went out, and the final chapter that we wrote in the Hardys and Team 3D was solid. It was respectful. Valuable moments that people will remember for the remainder of time, and that finish just was the icing on the cake.
Yeah, and the multiple retirements always suck.
When we got to the back,
But
I looked over at Matt.
yeah,
and said, we got their
it did feel like it was
Is this even a thing? And
their way of
that's
going
what it
out.
is now. I was like, oh my God, this is so honored, so honored.
As we began this, I'll end it thanking you both.
So there's no way
Thank you,
Devon's getting in
Ben.
the ring
Thank
again,
you
ever.
for everything you did. Congratulations on the victory. Congratulations on the moment. Amazingly enough, Bound for Glory did not end with one final table. We had a tremendous main event for the TNA World Championship. We're going to dive into the matchup between Trick Williams and Mike Sanders.
I love Devon, but I'm hoping he's aware of this. There's no way he should be ever get into a ring again.
Now Madison goes outside. Going to introduce the steel chair.
Looks like maybe Madison wants to do what Angelina's been doing, which he did to Velvet and Lacey, but referee Andrew Thomas trying to stop.
And I think he's aware of that, and that's why they did this.
The Botox kick right there. Was that the injection into the chair?
Oh, there was some sort of an injection. I don't know if it was Botox or what it was. How was this?
Right in the middle of the match, it's someone on a motorcycle coming right into the.
Oh, I remember this angle. Yeah, that was that ended up being Tara under the motorcycle hood or helmet.
Angelina, I guess she was looking maybe to get the disqualification. I guess she's figuring that's either Velvet or Lacey, one of the members of the Beautiful People. You can't really tell.
Referee Andrew Thomas, that's what he's doing. He's checking to see if it was Velvet or Lacey, because that would be a disqualification. To try and get a ruling here from Andrew Thomas. He's talking to our ring announcer, Jeremy Borash. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Referee Andrew Thomas has ruled that as a result of outside interference by the Beautiful People, the winner and new
Outside interference by the Beautiful People. How does he know it's a member of the Beautiful People? He's got a freaking black.
Yeah, exactly, Lad Brad. Have respect for your own legacy to not shit on it.
Whoever that is on that motorcycle. That's obviously friends with her. Well, she likes him.
Yeah, the mysterious figure. Well, we got a Velvet Sky or Lacey Von Erich with Madison. Leaves the impact zone on the motorcycle, and you're right, it's celebration time for Angelina.
But interestingly, they pick that for a greatest knockout moment when you have so many Gail Kim Awesome Kong matches you could have pulled from. If you're going to go for like, if you got one TNA, you know, if you're going to do like one knockout moment for the night, you're not going with something with Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. Yeah, sorry, having some buffering issues again. Sorry, guys. All right, sorry, my internet looks like it's acting up. Oh, why are you doing this to me, pal? I'll try a different link. Yeah, that was like the standard for women's wrestling in 08, 07, 08, 09. All right, I have no idea what's going on here. That would have been cool. That would have been cool. Oh, the feed might have got cut. Give me the ghost of NXT, pal.
The ultimate.
There we go.
I would say, hey, you
Oh.
beat us. We've had this rivalry for a quarter of a century, which sounds crazy, over a quarter of a century. And these guys, those boots, they're trophies.
Oh, gag me with a spoon. We came back when it's back at this part. Damn it. Damn it.
And
all right, I'm gonna try to search for a new one while we're at it.
There was nothing fabricated out there. It was very real. There were times where we were both tearing up. We both felt like crying because we knew it really was the end of an era. And not only is it the end of the Hardys Dudleys era, the Hardy Team 3D era, it's the end of a lot of people's fandom because they'll never see it again. That was the last time. And I'm really proud of everyone that was in that match because we went out and the final chapter that we wrote in the Hardys.
All right, there we go. There we go.
We saw how Mike Santana suffered immeasurable heartbreak in his home of New York at Slammiversary, coming this close to capturing the TNA, having to face his daughter Ariana after the fight.
All right, there we go.
I can only imagine what he dealt with, but we saw exactly what he dealt with in Lowell, Massachusetts. This match was brutal as one expected.
I mean, you knew it coming right out of the gate. It's Trick Williams. We've seen the playbook before. He was going to do whatever he could to try to hold on to that title. He defined himself by that title. The lawyer was there again. He's bringing his legal team in again. Even began, he was already going in with a deficit.
We've talked about emotion a lot tonight, and it was that emotion that was stirred up in Mike Santana that I believe ultimately fueled him to victory. That critical moment down the stretch in that matchup as he was looking through the ring to his daughter Ariana. From there on out, Mike Santana took over and ultimately captured. However, it was what transpired after the match where it looked like Mike Santana was not going to leave Bound for Glory as the TNA World Champion. As many remember, earlier on in the night, we had dual victors for the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match for the first time in history, both Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth emerged, and it looked like he was going to call his shot, trying to become a two-time TNA World Champion, when someone drifted back into TNA wrestling.
Out of nowhere, out of the darkness, Elijah emerged. We have not seen Elijah, but was there to absolutely clobber Nick Nemeth, cutting off.
So Elias obviously is, I'm guessing, is good to go or close to being good to go if they're bringing him back to TV.
Frankie Kazarian, who was last year's Call Your Shot Gauntlet winner, well, he thought he had the opportunity all wrapped up. He was going to try and sneak attack Mike Santana from behind, but he didn't have the trophy itself to hand to the referee to make it official for a TNA World Title match. And Mike Santana took his head off with Spin the Block. Ultimately, Mike Santana conquered everything that night at Bound for Glory, and it was signifying everything that he has conquered and overcome in his life.
It hasn't happened before.
And I mean, if you go back and watch after that finally happened, the moment TNA President Carlos Silva finally was able to present Mike that TNA World Championship belt, and then, of course, his daughter Ariana joining him in the ring. And I've said this out publicly, but this is a wild business. We play a lot of make-believe. We put on a lot of costumes, makeup, tell wild stories. But that was one of those moments that was so utterly real and raw and just truth and heart.
Yeah, that was another beautiful moment at Bound for Glory. Mike Santana and his daughter.
How great of a wrestler he is, but how raw and real he lives in front of the world. And he showed the world his heart at Bound for Glory when he handed that title to his daughter.
Well, it's going to get very real in studio because coming up next, we're going to be joined by the brand new TNA Wrestling World Champion, Mike Santana, right here on After the Glory.
And here he comes, pal. Whoop, whoop.
Well, it just looks like you didn't bring enough people with you now, huh, ladies?
And Velvet Sky, bringing a fight to Jade. And there's Marty and Rebel. Very surprising move here. I just didn't expect Velvet to go about a preemptive strike.
Oh, remember? Oh, this is from that period where Pope was an announcer.
I know that's your favorite word, but come on, man. That was just a dumb move. A 3-on-1 beatdown here, mugging from the dollhouse. What's this? It's Angelina Love and Madison Rain. Oh, boy, Josh. I don't know what to make of this. Madison Rain and Angelina Love and Velvet Sky are taking out the dollhouse. Do you see what's going on, man? Yes, I do. I got chills on my body. This is the dollhouse against. Are the beautiful people back? And a stunner. A number one stunner, Daddy. By Velvet Sky on Jade. Here on Wednesday Night Impact.
Dude, I love the Pope. I love the Pope character so much. He was such a good character. Such a great performer.
But it looks like playtime's over. And it looks like the dollhouse just met the edgy, badass, new and improved, beautiful people.
I'm so giddy.
And Taryn, it's on now, baby girl. So bring it.
Josh, the beautiful people have counteracted the dollhouse. They have reunited. I'm about to pass out. What's going to happen next? Now that the beautiful people are back.
Dude, and I'll keep saying this. Pope got robbed. Pope got absolutely robbed at Lockdown 2010 by backstage politics. Both him and Vince Russo have stated that the plan was for the Pope to go over AJ Styles for the TNA World title that night. But that didn't work for someone, brother. And then the next night, AJ dropped it to RVD. Pope got robbed. Pope got robbed.
In his soul, in his very heart. Not only, of course, people like his daughter, his family here with him tonight, his father who he's lost. Mike Santana carries all those and more with him into a battle like this. That is what the
I remember hearing some hype about him, like on the internet before they debuted.
One could argue Trick Williams, the spark that lit the powder keg for what became Showdown.
Same here. Glad to see him still getting around and still getting work. Dude was so talented. Dude is so talented.
His true desire, that was to capture the NXT Championship, which has escaped him now. Oh, thank you! And now Santana dumping Trick.
And it's hot-blooded passion.
Oh, wait a minute. The title belt right between the eyes of Santana.
Dude, they for sure got hoed. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And Bobby Roode at Bound for Glory 2011. Like literally, they went out to dinner the night before to celebrate Bobby Roode finally being, being made the man. And then the day of, Hogan goes, change of plans, brother.
To retain, Mike Santana won't quit. If he uses the belt, he'll get disqualified. On swinging it at Santana. Santana to the cover. Trick out with a kick out.
Wait, another roll up though.
Santana trying to surprise him in a kick out.
Keep the Trick on his feet by keeping him off his feet. Whoa!
Went for spin the block. There's Santana to meet him. Off of the ropes. Trick kick. Spin the block.
But then, here it makes even less sense about that. So then they do the swerve switch where they have an angle drop at the James Storm, and then 2 weeks later they put it on Roode anyway. Like,
He knows who he's fighting for.
And you have him turn heel in the process. Like, huh?
Trying to persevere. Back up on his face. Went for a trick shot. Oh, went for spin the block. Oh, wait a sec. Went for another Uranagi.
Back and forth.
Santana caught him out of midair.
He's not done yet.
Spin the block. Spin the block. Santana the cover. And just swing as it gets.
Here is your winner, and TNA World Champion,
Mike Santana perseveres. And there is the TNA president, Carlos Silva, ready to award the...
Wait a second.
Dear God.
Now?
Not like this. Not one of the-
We're all winners here, pal.
Champion. What the hell? Elijah, he's back! Oh my God! Wait a minute! What the hell? Wait a minute! Frankie Kazarian's in the ring! The other victor of the Collier Shot Gauntlet from earlier tonight!
He needs the trophy though. But he's got a long way to go to get there. He gets to look his daughter in the eye and say, Poppy did it.
Give me that delicious tan, pal.
TNA World Championship for his daughter Ariana. What a tribute. Mike Santana is the first Puerto Rican TNA World Champion. He is lead. Go instead where there is no path to leave a trail. Thank you for joining us tonight at Bound for Glory. This is TNA Impact. This is After the Glory. I'm Hannafin. He's Ray Walt. This has been an incredible night as we look back at one of the most special evenings in the history of TNA wrestling, Bound for Glory. And it was all capped off in the main event with the TNA World Championship on the line. NXT's Trick Williams, who reigned for 140 days over this company, was finally taken down. We are joined now in
when you came back to this company.
All right, so we got about 10 minutes left.
So how does it feel to
What if we get Eric Young showing up and he jumps Santana and he ends up becoming like his first challenger?
Man, like I've said this before when I was sitting in rehab. Like I followed every step of that plan to the T, and those that I've shared that plan with, I'd say 5 people, and those 5 people have hit me up. It was like, that's insane that you followed that plan to the T, and look at where you're at, right? I stepped back into TNA wrestling April 20th of 2024, Rebellion at the Palms against Steve Macklin. And after that match, I said, I'm here for the top spot. And I'm here at the top spot.
There's been a select nucleus in your life that has helped get you to this point, as you were saying, some that we've seen on screen recently. The TNA legend, Amazing Red, and another absolute legend of this industry, Conan.
Yeah.
What did their influence mean to you along this journey? And if you're willing to share, what was that interaction between you and Conan like on your entrance at Bound for Glory?
Man, well, going to Red, Amazing Red has been part of my career since the beginning. Guys like him, Homicide, Loki, that whole like.
Hey, a picture. Was that Savio in one of those pictures?
I came up under. Man, those guys are like big brothers to me. First off, we all come from the same background.
We're all from the hood. We all, had tough upbringings. We all that laughed at us for wanting to do this thing, right? And we set out and we proved them all wrong. But yeah, man, back then they saw something in this kid and took me under their wing, and I couldn't be more thankful, right? Like, to have mentors like that, guys who revolutionized the business, guys who influenced generations of the business, right? I couldn't be more blessed in that regard. And as far as Conan goes, if you've been following my career, you know the impact, no pun intended, that Conan has had on my life and my career. I'll never forget, I think we were talking about this before we came on camera, that, my first conversation with Conan, we were on the 45 minutes to an hour and just getting to know each other just in that time, right? And I'll never forget, he said something to me. He was like, all I'll ever ask of you is to keep it real with me. And I was like, you'll never have to worry about that in your life. And I just asked the same from you. And it's been like that ever since. We've always kept it real with each other. We've always had a very strong bond and relationship. He knows the background that I come from. I know his background, and we connected a lot. So to have him there for this moment and to share this entire story with him, I mean, you can't ask for anything better. Like you said, a true pioneer, a true legend, not just in professional wrestling in general. So influential, has helped so many people. I'm blessed to be part of a class of like greats that he's helped, and he's helped mentor, and all this is just very humbling. It's humbling. And as far as what we shared, we got to the back, and we have this saying. It actually comes from an old Spanish song called Pedro Navaja, and the song is about a old-time gangster that gets shot down in the street. And it's a real, it's a dark song, but with a lot of meaning. And in the song, he goes, La vida te da sorpresa, sorpresa te da la vida, ay Dios, which is, life will give you surprises, and surprises are life.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, talk about
Dude, that's a true line right there. That's such a true line right there.
Everybody's got a plan until it gets absolutely obliterated. And for you, that happened at Slammiversary. That was supposed to be the night. I think we all felt it. Fortunately, people like Trick Williams and his plans had other ideas. So what did you have to do externally?
Disappointed she was, and that did something to me. That, like, from July to now, I was in a totally different mindset. I was like locked in like never before, and one thing as parents that we never want to do is disappoint our kids, right? And I made a promise to her, and I made a promise to myself that I will never disappoint her again, But yeah, that moment did something to me, and that was all the fire that I needed to get here.
And I'm gonna put you right on the spot. You just mentioned that car ride home. Only 30 minutes. It's a short one, but a hard one, obviously.
The hardest.
I'm gonna bring it up. You told us before we got on camera today. You drove home.
Forrest Gump lines, right?
Sure.
I got to bring it up because, yep.
all
kinds of rain, right? And I remember saying the lines in the car, and my daughter's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" So I gotta get on that. But
yeah, get on that, pal. You haven't introduced your daughter to Forrest Gump yet? Come on, pal.
it was also very quiet because I think we were all processing it. What a amazing journey, amazing moment. And again, you know, for my daughter to see me, because she, you know, she brings it up from time to time, you know, when I get back from the road and stuff, like, she doesn't forget that moment of me sitting her down and telling her that I had to go away. And for her to see and experience that, and then see and experience what happened on Sunday, what more do I need to show her that anything is possible when you work at it, right? And the fact that I do everything to make her understand and make sure that she knows that she was a huge driving force in me getting to this and me changing my life, that's it. You know, for me, I won at life. To me, I could retire tomorrow. I did everything. Everything else after this is a plus, because forever she's going to be able to say, like, yo, look what my dad did. I could do anything in the world, you know.
Never given.
That's beautiful, man. That really is
We
beautiful.
are insanely proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
What great opportunity to talk to our new TNA Wrestling World Champion to cap off this recap of what was an incredible night again at Bound for Glory, just history making in every way.
Thank you so much for joining us here for After the Glory.
Yeah, Mike Santana wins it.
Oh, we did get a second appearance by Eric Young. I called it. Whoop, whoop.
It was taken from me twice. Oh, I've had more matches in this company than anyone. Oh, I've done everything there is to do. I've won every title there is to win.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Next week, join us. Fade to Black, an in-depth look at the path to Bound for Glory, behind the scenes, exclusive interviews, up close and personal, like you've never seen before. Thank you, EY. Thank you for joining us.
Nothing you can do.
This has been After the Glory.
I don't care what anyone says.
All right, and that's it for After the Glory. Tomorrow we got the SmackDown Watch Long and Bell Count. Saturday, the Smack Attack, Wrestle Dream Watch Long and Belt Count. Sunday, the Wreckage, and then HMG After Dark. Haven't quite figured out what we're doing that night. And then Monday, the Monday Locker Room, the Raw Watch Along, the Impact Attack. Go back to its regular times. And then Tuesday, We Like It Raw, the A Show, the late start next NXT Watch Along, and Wednesday Locker Room. And then on Wednesday, we got the Next Level Wrestling Review, the AEW Dynamite Watch Along and Belt Count. But as far as tonight goes, we're going to keep the party going with a shorty stream over on Twitch, twitch.tv/LG Brandon. Whoop, whoop. Hope to see you over there. If not, I hope to catch you on some of the other shows. But until then, have a great rest of your night. Much love. Whoop, whoop. Take care, y'all. Dude, yeah, that did sound like something I could see in like an old school ending.